Samudra Shri Bhadra Sarva Siddhi Hum Om Guru Vajradhara Sumati Gyanashasa Samudra Shri Bhadra Sarva Siddhi Hum Om Guru Vajradhara Sumati Gyanashasa Samudra Shri Bhadra Sarva Siddhi Hum Om Guru Vajra Sumati Gyanashasana Samudra Shri Bhadra Sarva Siddhi Hum Locho Sambo Pagyo Trashipa Tuche Tembeti Pege Drulor Zambe Zebrache Pande Lame Shabla Solwade Omo A Guru Vajradhara Sumati Munisha Sane Karm Uta Vardanya Shri Bhadra Varsa Manya Sarva Siddhi Hum Om Guru Vajradhara Sumati Munisha Uta Vardanya Shri Bhadra Varsa Manya Sarva Siddhi Hum Om Guru Vajradhara Sumati Munisha Uta Vardanya Shri Bhadra Varsa Manya Sarva Siddhi Hum Om Guru Vajradhara Sumati Munisha Uta Vardanya Shri Bhadra Varsa Manya Sarva Siddhi Hum Om Guru Vajradhara Sumati Munisha Shri Bhadra Varsa Manya Sarva Siddhi Hum Om Guru Vajradhara Sumati Munisha Varsa Manya Sarva Siddhi Hum Dagi Jetsun Lama Tuje Che Nyamda Dala Tuje Siksu Gebe Shesan Dala Tendo So Uyon Sunge Nawa Tsedo So Tsechi Ningne Sowa Debet Dejen Korlo Viso Lekshune Yila Sambe Duden Gemel Hunge Drubra Chingi Lo Tsoni Sodan Diktun Shabet Dunge Namke Yinso Lekshun Labjen Tsoni Yonso Zobadan Chera Nyedun Changra Chingi Janjo Parginin Tsen Tukun Tu Nyu Peme Seudro Lekshun Janjo Drube Gegen Kunshi Shi Tungen De La Drubra Chingi Dagi Lona Chola Chokbadan Chumis Chodan Tumbe Dudun Malup Dala Sikso So Gongyab Drewe Nyamda Dajala Jetson Lame Tuje Rabgong Kodan Sungi Nawa Drame Tu Nyam Sunyongwe Kesan Tobrasho Kewa Kuntu Yanda Laman Drame Cheki Pela Lonche Chin Sada Lamge Yunde Rab Dorje Change Koba Nyur Tobe Shoya Pakyuke Kodan Dagilu Pakyuke Sundan Dagi Nga Pakyuke Tukdan Dagi Ye Tun Yerme Chik Lo Ma Kyuke Kodan Dagi Lo Ma Kyuke Sundan Dagi Nga Ma Kyuke Tukdan Dagi Ye Tun Yerme Chik Tu Chinge Lo Om Muni Muni Mahamun Shakya Muni Svoha. Tuji na chumden de gyabo kaba chako pumbori gelonge gende chimbo dan chanchu simbe gende chimbo dan tapchik do shu se chumden de samha nawa she jawe chugi namrangi tinge zinla nyumbraj yan te tse chanchu simba simba chimbo baba chere se wanjo she Tu jimba samo cheba nila nambra tashin pumbo ngabo teda layan ranshinge tomba nambra tao tene sange ki tu tseda Sharipu Janjo Semba Semba Chembo Papa Cherezi Wanju Ragi Paru Du Jimba Samoj Te Jidra Nambra Tawa Semba Semba Chembo Papa Cherezi Du Jimba Samo Ranshinge Tomba Nambra Yanda Bra Jesu Tao Su Tomba O Tomba Nisu Shema in Tomba Nile Kyan Su Shema Ino Teshin Du Tsorwa Dan Du She Dan Du Che Dan Nambra Sheba Nan Tomba O Share Put Tomba Nite Tseni Meba Ma Keba Ma Gaba Trima Dan Trawa Tiwa Tiwa Meba Kanwa Meba O Sharipu Tetawen Sume Tsorwa Me Dushe Me Duche Me Sheba Me Ming Me Nawa Me Name Lume Lume Ime Sume Trime Chome To Migi Kamme Bane Yigi Kamme Yigi Nambra Shebe Kamge Pardo Ya Me To Marikba Me Marikba Gashi Me Gashi Sebe Pardo Ya Me Dunge Wadan Kunjun Wadan Gopa Dan Lame Yeshe Me Toba Me Ma Toba Ya Me Dosh Tedawe Na Chancho Semba Na Toba Mebe Chire Sheragi Paro Du Jimbala Tenchi Ne De Semla Triba Mechin Traba Me Chinchi Lone Shindu Dene Nyange Le Debe Tarre Chindu Tusundu Nambra Shube Sangye Tamchi Sheragi Paro Du Jimbala Tenchi Ne Yandabra Zobe Chanchu Du Ngombra Zoba Sang Yeso Tedawe Na Sheragi Paro Du Jimbe Nga Rigba Chembe Lana Mebe Nga Midam Pada Nyambe Nga Dunge Tamche Rabdu Shi Midun Bena Dembra Shebra Chade Sheragi Paro Du Jimbe Nga Meba Tayata Gade Gade Para Sam Gade Bodhiswa Sharipu Janjo Semba Semba Chimbu Teda Sheragi Paro Du Jimba Sam Chao Tene Chumdende Tinge Zin Tele Shende Janjo Semba Semba Chimbu Baba Cherezi Wanjola Lexo Sheja Wach Lexo Rigi Putete Shino Rigi Putete Chidara Kyoge Temba Teshin Shiragi Paro Du Chimba Samola Chebra Chade Teshin Sheba Namgyan Ches Dige Cheka Tselne Tsedan Demba Shara Twati Pudan Chancho Semba Baba Cherezi Wanjo Dan Tamche Dan Dembe Kora Teda Dal Hada Midal Hama Trisra Chebe Jigne Ira Mombra Du Neche Dambana Mashe Druba Bola Mai Pushin Nesung Kandro Tsola Cha Tse Lu Ranza Shadara Samaraya Peaka Samaranza Shadara Samaraya Peaka Samaranza Shadara Samaraya Peaka Samaranza Shadara Samaraya Maraya Pe Gade Para Sam Gade Bodhi Svoha Baba Kunjo Sumi Kai Dembe Topki Chir Do Pargyochi Ne Pargyochi Shiva Gyochi Rabdo Shivara Gyochi Drage Parche Midumbe Chore Ngemba Tamche Shanti Guru Soha Geju Shiva Da Midun Nembe Kenda Trewa Da Punsun Tsogyu Trashi Degyan Tendire Tele Shu Simjen Tamje Dagi Dru Janju Nela Gubra Ki Janju Simni Yanda Ki Kunjo Sumla Kyapsu Dru Simjen Tamje Dagi Dru Janju Nela Gubra Ki chancho semni yanda ke kuncho sumla kyapsu dru simchen tamche dagi dru chancho nela gubra chancho semni yanda ke Pema dan ale dawe kingorogi dendu honle dorje karbo tsenga ba dewa la honge tsemba tele vesret teni che tsur du yonsu gyurba le dorje semba kudo karbo sheji chani gi dorje dan tribu zim Yum dorje nyema karmo shechi chani gi trigo dan teba zimbe kyuba nikan targe nasa dan rinpoche gen nazo pe genba yab dorje kitrungi shupa teye tukra dawete honye karbo tele vesre tru randre yeshe pa chenra niso me pra kyuru laryan tuke honle vesre tru Wange la chen ram deshin shepa tamche ge de la ngombra Tago to she sume tetre tamche ge diktre la niebe chepa pu tamche vege nambra dune tuke hon la timbe sije dan tut so parakyu Samaya Manubalaya Vajra Sattva Teno Patishta Tidro Meba Vasudo Kaime Bas Bakaime Banero Nemba Sarva Siddhi Mebra Sarva Karma Zameda Jina Kuno Bas Sarva Tathagata Vajra Mame Samajra Bama Om Vajra Satsama Vana Vana Tatena Vajra No Karma Zameda Jina Om Vajra Sattva Samaya Sarva Tathagata Vajra Undo kaime bas, kaime bas, no ne bas, no bas, no bas. Maya sa do me vajra, so me no me no ne no me no. Vajra sa do me vajra, no vajra sa do Sattva ahom pe Samaya Manubalaya Vajra Sattva Teno Padita Didro Me Bhava Sudokaya Me Bhava Subhokaya Me Bhava Anuragdu Me Bhava Sarva Siddhi Me Brayata Sarva Karma Sutsa Me Siddha Shriya Kuro Hon Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sarva Tathagata Vajra Mame Miza Vajra Bhava Ma Samaya Sattva ahom pe Tamzile Nye Gashi Nyama Lama Gombo Kyabzo Chi Tsovo Dorje Timbate Dani chen drove tsola dagyavchi dorje sembe shene rigi pu kyoge dikte dan tamze nyamcha tamche chanshin tago she songne rangla timbe rangi go son dan dorje che parangyo jetsun drume kuru shembarakyo Kundali Hana Hana Hompe Omo Soba Vashuddha Sarva Dharma Soba Vashuddha Tomba Nidu Guru Tombe Ngale Yamle Lon Ramle Me Ale Yeshegi Kabala Yanshin Gyachewe Nan Shanga Dutse Nga Yeshegi Dutse Gyatso Chembro Gyur Omo ahung, omo ahung, omo ahung. Kundali hana hana hum pe omo sobhava shuddha sarva dharma sobhava shuddha tomba nidu gyuru tombe ngale kamle tebe nönam ge nandu hunle chöze na ranshi tongni namba soso namba chele wambo drugi choyu to saba mebe dewa kebra te warai kyur Omo argam padyam püş benza düben benza aloken benza gende benza ni benza şapta ahum Kundali hana hana hum pe Tombe ngale yamle lon ramle me Ale yeshege kabala yanshingya chewe nandu shanga dutse Shuale jungwe yeshege dutse gyazo chimbro kyur Omo ahum, omo ahum, omo ahum Tamyele vesre trube ranshing Gomba dan drave jetsu mala sangye dan chanchu sembe tsogi korwara dungi namkra chenra jetsu me lazo namge chador jeve sergi bugu rande solvara kyur aryatare sabare vare yidamba linda kaka kai kai Omo aryatare sabare vare yidamba linda kaka kai kai Omo aryatare sabarewa idam balinda kaka kahi kahi Argam padyem püşbedü Aloke gende nevide şav Pradesh zaun soha Omo are Omo Ramala chatse lo chatse drama nyurma pa mo cheni kechi Jiden sumgo chuke shegi gezra jewale ni juma chatse tunge dawa kundu kanwa gyani tsekbe shem Karma tonra tsoba namge rabdu jebe virabar Chatse sengo chune gegi peme cheni nambra ge Jimba tsundru katubshi wa seba samten choyonim Chaze deshin shebe tsu tor taye nambra gyawa che Malu par jimba tebe gyawe segi shindu te Chaze tutara hun yege dödan choda namkaka Jigden dumbo shabgi nende luba meba guban Chalay bu Ha, mare dede Rübjen mo shalapit Chala mountain. Yeah, Lundrid. Dugi Pawa Nambra Jama Chuke Shani Drunira Denze Dravo Tamje Malus Chaze Kuncho Sumso Chage Sormo Tuga Nambra Ge Malu Chuki Korlo Ge Be Rangi Vigi Tsonandru Ma Chaze Rabdu Gawaji Vigi Drewa Be Ma Sheba Rabshe Tutara Yi Duda Jigde Wandutse Chaze Sashi Kyongwe Tsonam Tamche Guba Numanim Dranye Yongwe Yige Hongi Pamba Tamche Nambra Druma Chaze Dawe Dumbu Ug Gemba Tamche Shindu Barma Rabe Druna Wabame Taba Shindu Waratse Ma Chaze Kabe Tameme Barve Treve Unane Ma Yegyan Yongo Kone Korge Trai Pungni Nambra Jama Chaze Sashingola Chage Tilge Nuchin Ship Dranye Chenze Yige Hong Dumbo Namni Ge Ma Chaze Dema Ge Ma Shima Nyange Deshin Choyoni So Omda Yandan Dembe Dikpa Chembo Jumbani Chatse Kune Koraka We Trai Luni Nambra Ge Ma Ige chube ngani köpe riba hunle druman. Chatse ture shamni da pe hunge nambe sabun. Rira mandara dambi jim. Hada miyam chite kune koja gawa jegi tsoda mila ngembase chaze nima dawa gepe chenye pola orase hara nijo tutara yi shintu chakpo rimnese chaze deni sumnan köpe shive tuda yandan dema tendarola nöje tsona jumba ture rabjoni Sawe ngagi teba dida, chatse wani nishu tsachi. Tuje chen dadan taye simjen tamje gi jimni chanshi tsoni nyurzo ne zobe sanget. Zedu so tema tobe tsera kundu yang lada mi dewa choto. Tamje kimba drubra cheba la parche dunge rimda nelas. Tumi chivra gyurwe natso dam milam ngindan tsemangin. Jikpa keso nyevra tsewa nam nyurdu shishim mebra tsedu. Jikden leni deba ye trashi gele punson tsopa. Peshin gebe tuna malupa beme lungi drubra tsed. Drubla tsumshin tamche pewa dan taktu kyodru shechu tongwan. Tongni tundo chancho rinpoche yarma dadra peshin gebra gyawe kingro sanshin gawa terpe mo tamba shindu zele nawa taye gyawe ngosumdu londen bayan dagi tertobe terma chachin sowa tabe tu daso kandu nebe sachu neda ubu tabzo shiwa chedan chashi pew zedu so Hana hana hump Oma sabhava shuddha sarva dharma sabhava shuddho han tombani tombe ngale ale migu Yanshingya chewe nandu shanga dutse nga shuwale jung yeshegi dutse gyatso chembro gyur omo ahung omo ahung omo ahung Chador chewe segi puku chante solvara kyu Kaka kai Omudra kini shitana bala sapurvari dambalinda kaka kai Omda kini dharma bala Dharma bala sapurvari dambalinda kaka kai ka Omudra kini shri dharma bala sapurvari Argam padyen pushpe dube aloke gende nim Shabda pradesha Omo ahum Torma de kanro chogyon sume tsonambu shene dadan gyunjo yondala Tinle namshin madru malutsu Kundali hana ana humpe Omo sabhava shuddha sarva dharma sabhava shuddho Tomba nidu gyuru tombe ngale brumle rinpoche ning Turmase shegi duzi gyazo chembro gyur omo ahum omo ahum omo ahum Dunyo la longche bar tsimbar gyur Avalokiteon sambara sambara namo sarvata dagata avalokiteon sambara namo sarvata dagata avalokiteon sambara sambara Deshin sheba gyavarinche mala cha tselo deshin sheba Dambala cha tselo deshin sheba ku jamle la cha tselo deshin sheba jikpa tamche dan trawa la cha tse Nöche dönge jumbo tsola ngo shene daso simchen tamche la nöche semba chan sembemba Kundali ana ana hombe omo soba washuda sarva dharma soba washudo tomba nidu gyur tombe ngale brumle rimboche nuyana omo turma yeshege düzi gazo chimbro gyur omo ahong omo ne da shida namge yela longchebe timbrai gyur Sambara, Sambara, Om Namo Sarva Tata Gadava Lokdam, Sambara, Sambara, Om Namo Sarva, Sambara, Sambara. Sheba Gyawa Rinje Mala Cha Zero Din, Sheba Sase Dambala Cha Zero Din, Sheba Kujamle La Cha, Din Sheba Jigba Tamche Da Trawa La Cha Tse. De Yula Shida Nebe Tsona Bu, Shene Dada Gyujuro Yonda La, Tungen Drupchente, Nebe Tobdani Teshin Shebe Chindovdan Chöge Inge Tonam Geton Simche Namla Penda Chirtonam Kanda Samba Kundeda Tamche Chiripa Topa Mep Jungyur Chi Kunge Maketi Shiton Tamche Chungene Paso Kunge Una Lang Trinchen Lama Namla Chopa Menubala ya ped mazado de no badida dido me ba wazo to kame ba wasbo kame ba nero ne ba zarwa de nazar kama za me ne ba zarwa de kata pad mama me za ba na ba ma za pa ba ma samaya satwa ahom be kaya ne ba maje ba dirni chawa kange ba te gun kyoge sebra tsa la ba dani choge yan la nyam ba dan da ge jinge chich Tenyan sebra tsedu so dala ngodro chozo la tenzin kungi drebu tso simche namla ngodro la na meba tsedu so todro yeshe para timshi jikpa no nane so shek para gyu benza bumi ahon wanje sergi sashi Om benzareke ahon chichari koryogi korwe visu re gyabo re raba shara lupa polho tsamboli no palanche chandra mini luda lupa ngayabda Rami nyingi da rinpoche rewo pasange shin duche yepa Korlo Rinpoche Norpa Chenwa ma lu ma karma meto ma du Rinpoche tu Gyanten Laz Wa Deda Trinchen Tsawa Dan Gyubra Chebe Panden Nama Sedo So Cho Gempardi Sange Shinto Milte Ulawaraki Droiku Namandashin Chapar Sho Amba Ke Namaki Chaku Kala Kenzen Sintene Guru Ratna Mandrala Kam Kurtempa Deso Ngadru Tso Lo Sangyawe Sabge Tamche Ge Terzo Wancho Ge Sarshepa Pame Jeson Karge Wambola Sowa Deso Chotu Ngadru Tso Sowa Deso Ngadru Tso Sabse Yeshe Labdri Madru Lung Kandu Gyatso Kile Namshi Gyum Kapta Denche Wambola Sowa Deso So Ngawa Londo Rinchen Terzo Chutrin Chorbe Drela Mindrugi Degu Charbe Sambe Wambola Sowa Deso Chotu Ngodru Tso Lodru Sambo Chendon Dongagi Tupten Yonla Sibe Ngotsaratam Sangze Dorje Zimbe Wambola Sowa Deso Chotu Ngodru Tso Ngawan Jambe Nimbo Geleten Minu Zimbe Namdren Gyansen Cho Shabdrun Tamba Drube Wambola Sowa Deso Chotu Ngodru Tso Ngawa Losan Jambe Yang Niki Tembe Nimbe Zinla Datil Shin Ngodru Charbe Drube Wanjula sowa deso chotu ngodru tso, chamse kenpa losan gyawa ye tembe nyimbo, gyatso trinchen lama la, sowa deso chotu ngodru tso, losan gyawa kunge yeshe ni, chikdu time gyalten zimbe tso, ramjan kirko gyatso choduk, sowa deso chotu ngodru chinugi, tumo lamge rangyo lekjane, sala rimni topa ngungyurte, sonjo pame ranshe nyurtonsho, terma sonyan chiwara ngunchotse, shilama tunshi sekpe lamge tar, nyurlama gyuvo songi chulkoragi, dushi dratso chungne chimbrasho, kewa kundu yanda lama dang, drame cheki pela longche ching, sadan lamge yunde, dorje changi kopa nyurto besho. Chanchu pardo dani kyapsu chi, dagi chenin gibe sonam ki, drola pinchira sangye drupar sho. Chodan tsogi chonam la, chanchu pardo dani kyapsu chi, dagi chenin gibe drupar sho. Chedan tsogi chonam la, chancho pardo dani kyapsu chi, dagi chenin gibe sonam ki, drola pinchira sangye drupar sho. In the Buddha, Dharma and Sangha, I take refuge in true enlightenment. By the merits of receiving these Dharma teachings, may I reach the state of Buddhahood for the benefit of all sentient beings. In order to reach the state of Buddhahood for the benefit of all sentient beings, may we reach the state of Buddhahood. And for that reason, we will now listen to these following teachings of Dharma. So, first of all, my greetings to everyone. Good morning to everyone. So from the great Lama Tsongkhapa, as it says, after having completed the common path, entering into the excellent vehicle of the Vajrayana, please bless me to be able to enter into this path correctly. Just as Lama Tsongkhapa said, in order to practice the Vajrayana path, first we need to familiarize ourselves with the common path. We need to familiarize ourselves with. We need to go through the path of the common path before, starting from relying correctly upon the Guru, until the part of developing correct concentration, such as shamatha and vipassana. If you have the realizations of it, is the best. If not, at least, if you have an understanding of renunciation, bodhicitta, and the correct view of reality, We need to listen with this awareness. It's enough if we listen with the awareness of the three aspects of the path. So what? So he says, after having completed the common path, then we can enter the excellent path of the Vajrayana. Then, before receiving the empowerment into the Vajrayana, we need to familiarize ourselves with the common path. If we do not have renunciation, then whatever we do, we let aside reaching the state of Buddhahood, it doesn't become a cause to get out of samsara. So first we need to have the determination to get out of samsara. We need to feel this wish strong to get out of samsara, something that is the moment that we see samsara, we say, I must get out of it as soon as possible. We need to have this type of renunciation. Because we are following the Mahayana path, we need also bodhicitta. So now in order to, as the Dharma that we will share now, in order to reach the state of Buddha for the benefit of all sentient beings, for that reason I will now listening to the following Dharma teachings. So may through the listening to these teachings, may it be of benefit for every sentient being. When we talk about the benefit of others through the motivation of bodhicitta, may we reach the state of Buddhahood. There is two ways of reaching enlightenment, from the Mahayana Sutra view and from the Vajrayana path. So now we're entering into the Vajrayana, which is extremely fast way in order to reach the state of Buddhahood. We call the Vajrayana. As Lama Tsongkhapa reminded in his verse, if we enter into the Vajrayana, it's possible in a very short lifetime, in a few years, like in one lifetime of the degenerate times, it's possible to reach the state of Buddhahood. Like it's from here now, if we need to go somewhere, always, if we go walking or if we go by car, there's the difference. In Tibet is given the example of going by horse or going walking. To go walking or to go by horse. If you go by horse, it's much faster. The similar to that is a common example nowadays. In the days in which we don't need that, we can make the example between walking and going by car. If you go by car, it's much faster. Similar to that, if you enter into the Vajrayana, into this degenerate times body, it's possible to reach at one lifetime, it's possible to reach the state of enlightenment. If we go even faster than that, if we do correctly accumulation of merits and purification, then we truly practice correctly, keeping correctly one's commitments and so on, even in 3 years it's possible to reach the ultimate state of Buddhahood. But being like this, if we practice correctly, there is truly great benefit of this path. So once we enter into this Mahayana Dharma, we must do it with the mind of bodhicitta. On top of that, we need to have the awareness of emptiness. We need to be together with the awareness of the wisdom that realizes the true nature of reality. This is the best. If we don't have that completely, at least we need to have the clear determination that I will practice the correct view of reality. So we need to listen to the Dharma with renunciation, bodhicitta, and correct view of reality. So, in the very beginning, first of all, today we are starting Tara Chittamani commentary. Generally speaking, before giving the commentary, we need to give the oral transmission. But today, I'm going to make a way that will give the complete oral transmission of the commentary of Paponka Rinpoche. So in this way, so first of all, after having received the common and uncommon empowerment of Tara Chittamani, now we'll be giving the commentary of the practice. As we have already completed the empowerment, now I'm going to start by first giving the oral transmission. The oral transmission is of the commentary of the generation and completion stage of Tara Chittamani, written by Paponka Dechen Nyingpo. So now, the nature of the actions of all Buddhas, Arya Tara, Chittamani's commentary, practice commentary. In general, the Arya Tara, as when we call Arya Tara, is the action, is the manifestation of the action of all Buddhas. And it is moment with extremely fast actions and blessings, more than other idioms, it's incredibly fast blessings and actions. So when you talk the Chittamani self-generation or sadhana, there are many great masters have written many different commentaries in India and in Tibet. Many great masters wrote sadhanas of Tara, but from all of this, an extremely profound, from all the different sadhanas of Tara, from all of them, then profoundly deep and powerful practice and easy to practice is known as the sadhana of Tara Chittamani, known as Chittamani. In order to practice this, if we go through the subjects, it starts by the initial discussion of the historical accounts concerning the origins of this tantra and the actual presentation of how to practice the yoga. So initially it is the historical accounts of how this tantra started to develop faith in Tara. And then after, how to do the actual practice of the sadhana of Tara Chittamani, of the generation and completion stage, the direct explanation. These are the first two subjects. So Aryatara, which is also called Aryatara of the Rosewood Forest, which have different manifestations, such as White Tara and the Green Tara, which is also well known as the manifestation of the action of all Buddhas. So it was originally also a woman, that in the time of developing one's own bodhicitta and reaching enlightenment, that reached enlightenment in the body of a woman. And initially in the beginning generated bodhicitta also in the body of a woman, and in between all the accumulation of merit and the path was also done through in the body of a woman, and ultimately reached the state of Buddhahood also in the body of a woman. Mainly in the moment of generating bodhicitta, it was known as the Princess Yeshadawa, the Moon Wisdom Princess, which was the daughter of a king, and her name was Yeshadawa, the Wisdom Moon. So she was making a lot of offerings to all the different countless Buddhas and making prayer requests, and made a lot of accumulation of merit and purification, and then she developed herself bodhicitta. Once she developed bodhicitta, many of the present monks at the time said, "Oh, you have accumulated so much merit and purification. Through all these merits, may you develop a male body, and through that you reach the state of Buddhahood. You should make prayers to be reborn as a man in order to reach enlightenment." This was said to her. And at that time she answered, "Many have reached enlightenment in the body of a man. I want to reach enlightenment in the body of a woman. And in the body of a woman, I will act for the benefit of sentient beings." And just as she made such commitment, she was able to fulfill it in many, many, many years as she was living in the palace through her own meditational powers of samadhi. She reached her different realizations of the path, and she reached also other states of realizations of different type of samadhis. And within this type of samadhi, through the power of this attainment, since the morning and afternoon and so on, she was able to help countless numbers of beings in her meditative states, bringing them into the path of patience. So many millions and millions of beings she was able to help and to sustain and to protect from their suffering, help them to get out of suffering and to enter on their path. And she had like a commitment: until I don't have a certain number of beings, I'm not going to eat. And until she would not help a certain number of beings, she had a strong commitment that she would not stop. So after being able to help and to liberate so many beings from from samsara and their own suffering, because she had a particular commitment of that after that her name was given the name of Tara, the Liberator. That's why Yeshadawa was later called Tara, which means the Liberator. This name came by liberating so many beings from their own suffering and taking them out of samsara. If we go through the commentary reading each and every part of it, it's going to take a very long time, but I'm just bringing you the main points of each part of the commentary. Also, the name of Tara is called like the fast one and the heroine and so on, because for many lives, in the time of the king Bishuddha, the victorious time, in the time of Buddha Amoghasiddhi, in front of Buddha Amoghasiddhi, so she made a commitment to free sentient beings from the different forms of fears, from the 8 fears and so on, and by that entering into profound samadhi. By being in profound samadhi for many lives, she stayed in the state of samadhi, and she was able to overcome many different inner and outer demons. That's why her name is also the one that eliminates and destroys the demons, and there are many names that were given to her based on the qualities and actions that she did in many lives. That's why when we say the most virtuous Tara, Arya Tara, we are known, normally we always say Tara, but there are many other names that are also given to Tara. It is like that. The same way, Arya Tara, also in the past as Arya Avalokiteshvara, was also, he was the like the reincarnation of Gelontrimewe. And at that time, that Buddha Avalokiteshvara, he was empowered by all the different Buddhas, which is called the radiance of stainless light, and he became Avalokiteshvara. So after that he was empowered by this light, and through his empowerment of light from the heart of Avalokiteshvara, also Aryatara was born, also manifested. So from the heart of Avalokiteshvara of compassion, Aryatara manifested, saying, I'm taking all sentient beings to the state of beyond suffering. I'm going to help all suffering. I'm going to protect them from suffering. Aryatara came with a very strong commitment to protect from all sorts of sufferings. There are many stories about this also. So when we make request to Aryatara, it's very near to us. This is part of the commitment of Aryatara herself. As when we recite the 21 Taras and the mantra of Tara, it really has great benefit. So as when we see the commitments that Aryatara did in the past are in order to help others. We normally all the Buddhas are of the same nature. If we say medicine Buddha, or Amitayus, or there are many Buddhas, they're all, how can we say? There are difference of the commitments that they did just before reaching enlightenment when developing bodhicitta I'm going to help sentient beings by medicine and helping through their physical needs. And that's when we know the medicine Buddha. So based when we make requests of medicine Buddha and make prayers regarding to our health, there is a special connection to it. When we talk about long life, there are different deities such as Amitayos and White Tara and so on. So for example, in Dorje Shukden, there is also the Ratna Shukden, which is also specially to help to increase our long life. So depending on each one of them's own dedication in the moment of generating bodhicitta, their commitment, this makes a difference afterwards of the correlation that we can create. So in such way also Tara has her own particular history also. So whatever is one's own virtuous wishes, one's making a request and connecting to Aryatara, it's possible to fulfill them. There are many stories about it also. Like this verse that they were just reciting in wait for those that wishes a child, for those that wishes wealth, for those that wishes whatever we wish, Aryatara can help us to obtain whatever is our wishes that may be virtues. So this is coming from a commitment that Tara did in the very beginning. Generally speaking, there are many manifestations of Aryatara. To give their ring, to support us to develop health and long life, Aryatara manifested in the aspect of the white Tara. For those that don't have enough power and power of influence, Aryatara manifested as Kurukule. For those that have small wisdom that needs to develop more wisdom, Aryatara manifested as Sarasvati. So there are many different manifestations of Aryatara. For those that are not able to be pacified through pacific meanings, also that needs to be pacified through wrathful meanings, Aryatara manifested as Pandelamo. There are many different females manifestations of Buddha, but most of them are of the same nature of Aryatara. They are all of the same nature and manifestation of Aryatara. So when we make prayers to Aryatara, in order to gain realizations of health and long life, or to develop more wisdom, or to increase one's own wisdom, once we make the request to Aryatara, it fulfills all the other necessary needs and actions. So it's like one Buddha with many different manifestations. In the same way, when we call at the southern side, there is the mountain of Potala, and above it is the pure land of Avalokiteshvara, and in between there is the southern pure land of Aryatara. Above it's Avalokiteshvara, and just below it is Aryatara, where it's acting for the benefit of all sentient beings from there. Generally speaking, Aryatara is very near to us, also near to this planet, near to our reality. So her blessings are very near and her actions are very swift. So very, very near to us to fulfill her own actions. So many great scholars from India and Tibet, many great masters, have made prayer requests and were followed and supported by Aryatara. From all of them in India, from all the Kadampa, all the Neo masters, all the old Kadampa and New Kadampa masters, they all made requests and received blessings and realizations from Aryatara. So from our sides, if we make prayer requests to Aryatara, by making such prayer requests, sure, there is no need to say that we will sure receive all the actions, holy actions and blessings. And especially if we keep a correct morality and view, even without making request, Aryatara is naturally, spontaneously helping and supporting through her own holy actions. This is what is explained also in the different commentaries and texts. In this way, Aryatara was not something that just came out at the moment of Buddha Shakyamuni. It's actually from much longer before the time of Buddha Shakyamuni. Aryatara had many different lives and manifestations before the time of Buddha Shakyamuni. Buddha Shakyamuni himself, from his time, there were many different connections to Aryatara, such as 108 names of Tara spoken by Buddha Shakyamuni and the 21 Tara's prostrations and so on that we recite now were taught by Buddha Shakyamuni. But before him time, from Buddha Nawataye and that Buddha Manjushri made requests, and many practices and sadhanas of Aryatara existed before the time of Buddha Shakyamuni. But from the time of Buddha Shakyamuni, we have these 108 names of Aryatara. There is 108 names of Tara. So normally, not only Aryatara's name, but there are many other names. So there is one text which was taught by Buddha Shakyamuni, which is called 108 Names Spoken by Buddha Shakyamuni. Then there is the praise of the 21 Taras. These were all taught by Buddha Shakyamuni himself. And there were many different sadhanas and practices of Aryatara were composed, but from all of them, the one that we are following today is called Chittamani, was from one great master called Tabo Kelsang Kharge Wanjuk. He had a direct vision of Aryatara. And Aryatara gave these instructions and in teachings to him. So it is called like the one text from Aryatara, which is called Actions, Stable Actions, which was taught by Aryatara directly to Thabo Dorje Chang. So normally the most common sadhana written by Thabo Dorje Chang is the sadhana that we do, Kelsang Kharge Wangpo. Thabo Kelsang Kharge Wangpo, he received it directly from Aryatara through his own visions. And this is the sadhana that we will follow, and this lineage, when we say Thabo Dorje Chang, that has the direct vision of Aryatara, he was already in a previous life from the time of Buddha Wusung. He was also actually the reincarnation already long time from the time of Buddha Kassapa, from the chariot to Gyaltsen Topsang. So since that time, that was the Prince Jimmo Dawa until the fourth Siddha Kharge Wangpo, which was the Pema Vajra, which was the guru of Paponka Rinpoche. There is a long lineage of reincarnations, even before the time of Buddha Shakyamuni until the time of Paponka Rinpoche. So the text that we are following, it's coming from the lineage of Paponka Dechen Nyingpo, but mainly it's coming from Thabo Dorje Chang, starting from Kelsang Kharge Wangpo, that was taught to Paponka Dechen Nyingpo, and from Paponka Dechen Nyingpo it gradually came to us, and to that we can practice. It is like that. So here we have the generation and completion stage. Teachings are complete within this. Aryatara gave to Thabo Dorje Chang these instructions, and from the fourth Thabo Dorje Chang gave these explanations to Paponka Rinpoche on the generation and completion stage of Aryatara. And based on that, Paponka Rinpoche put it into writing, into this commentary that we are going through now. So it's not only the sadhana of Tara Chittamani. There is many together with it. There is like a manual of retreats and how to make a fire puja and many other things. when we talk about all the completed the actions texts of Tara Chittamani, you can gradually see it and have access to it. There are many texts related to Tara Chittamani. Tabo Kelsang Kharge Wangpo, at his time, the self-generation sadhana were very, very short. Oh, there were many practices like to help to make rain and so on. There were many different practices, very extensive practices that he composed at that time. So anyhow, now the moment that we go through this commentary of Tara Chittamani is a commentary based on experience also. Normally when we say a commentary of experience, is that the Lama explained through his own understanding, very detailed way, and then the disciples should also listen this in a detailed way and make in practice. When there are different types of commentaries, like technical commentary, practitioner commentary, so here we're following as a practice commentary. So in order to make it as a practice commentary would need a very long time, which right now we don't have. So at least now we're at least going to touch the main points of it, so gradually you're able to do your own practice and to have your own experience. So generally speaking, when I received it, I received from Lati Rinpoche, consort Lati Rinpoche. At the time, Lati Rinpoche was giving a very detailed explanation of this commentary. So on the day that he was giving the explanation, he gave 3 long, middle and short explanation of the same subject. Then the next day he would go once again and re-explain once again and going into many, many details on every part of the sadhana. So at this moment we are not able to go through all so many levels of details, but we are going to take the main points gradually, gently we go through the main points of the commentary. So here Papongka Decheng Nyingpo, he received from Tabuk Pema Vajra, he received this sadhana. So Papongka Decheng Nyingpo, so he was requested to him by making also the mandala offering, please you need to make compose such a commentary. All many different offerings were made, and Papongka Rinpoche made such a request to Tabuk Dorje Chang. And Tabuk Dorje Chang, he explained and he gave the teachings of the sadhana and the commentary. And it was a request from Papongka Rinpoche. It was the time of Sakadawa. Sorry, it was in the month of the miracles, the first Tibetan month. So from that time up to now, gradually, from master to disciple, it has come up to now directly, so that we can practice it now. It's because there is an uninterrupted lineage. So the history-wise is that Arya Tara gave this transmission directly to Tabuk Dorje Chang, and that gradually came to us through Papongka Rinpoche. So without needing to go into many details, I will continue on with the next part of the oral transmission. So now, the actual presentation of how to practice the yoga. We need two in three parts. The physical based upon one, how is the person that should practice, conditions, the place where we should practice, and how to engage into the actual practice. So who should practice, where you should practice, and how you should practice. So first of all, the physical basis, the person who needs to practice. First of all, you need to have some experience on the common path. So first of all, you need to have an understanding on the common path. You need to have received correctly the four empowerments. And to have faith in the Guru and faith in the Tantra and to keep correctly your own commitments, in essence, based on. But you have three main qualities that you need to have in order to be a correct vessel for the practice. First, you need to have a common understanding on the common path. Have trained correctly in the common path. Just as we said in the beginning today, when we were explaining the motivation, we need to have to train our mind in the common path. The second condition, you need to have received correctly the four empowerments. In order to follow the path, you need first to have received the empowerments correctly. So to be a correct vessel, second, you need to have received the empowerment. In order to receive the commentary of Tara Chittamani, first you need to receive the empowerment of Tara Chittamani. Before that, you need to receive also another great empowerment of Anuttara Yoga Tantra before the actual initiation of Tara. The best is if you can receive from the Madhya Tantra, such as Heruka and Hevajra and Kala Chakra. These are all part of the Madhya Tantra. If you can receive a great empowerment from one of this, is the best. If not, if you have received a great empowerment from this, is the best. If not, other deities also fine, such as Yamantaka or Goya Samaja and so on. That's also enough, that's also good. So first you receive a great empowerment, then you receive the common and uncommon empowerments of Tara Chittamani. Then, from that, then you have the base to start to practice Tara Chittamani. If in case, if you have never received any empowerment from the Tantra, then actually you are not supposed even to reach the sadhanas. Because if you have not taken the tantric vows, you don't have the route to gain the realizations. There is no benefit. Actually, there may even be harm if you follow the sadhanas without having ever received the transmission and empowerment. So first we need the empowerment. The third condition is that you need to keep correctly your commitments. Once you take an empowerment, if you keep correctly your commitments and samayas, then this will make you to gain the realizations. If you never keep your commitments, then you cut the root of realizations. So in order to gain realizations, you must to keep your commitments. So you need to have four causes, which is have a strong faith, unwavering faith. Keep correct concentration, wisdom, and so first of all, it's not enough just to have faith, you need to have very stable faith. When we talk about having a stable faith, it means whatever anyone says, you are not going to change your view easily. Second, you need to have wisdom. So second, it means that once you understand well what you're going to practice, not just following because someone said, you need to have a clear understanding. Once you say that you're going to practice, and let's say you go to a retreat place, oh, I'm going to do practice, but then later, if you still need to go to ask advices and understand things, then it's very difficult. You need from the very beginning to have a good understanding, to have no doubts about the practice, to have single concentration, be able to have good, and to keep correctly the secrecy of the practice, not going to share the practices with those that don't have faith, and we don't need to say, oh, this is my idam, I do this practice. It's not something that we should go talking around. If we do correctly these four things, then we gain the realizations. From all of that, the most important one is actually to have faith, the unshaking faith, and to have no doubts of the path. Most of all is having our own faith. If we have no faith, even though if we study a lot, and we can check a lot, we can ask everywhere, we have a good understanding, but if no doubt, we can have no realization. So the first of main of all, it's faith. For that reason, so first of all, in this way, you need to keep these four
causes, by having these 4 conditions, then it's truly possible to gain their realizations. These 4 causes for realizations. This is the first subject, which is what is the basis to do the practice. Second subject is what is the place, the qualities of the place where to do the practice. The place where you can do the sadhana and retreat. If you want to do a retreat of Aryatara, the place where you do it should be a place which is a pleasant place, free of interferences, a place where you can be with your relaxed mind and peaceful. If you're in a place with a lot of distractions, it's quite difficult to practice because you'll be very distracted. You need to be a place which is pleasant and free of interferences. So if you stay at your own house or wherever you go, you need to be a stable place without interferences. Without needing to go into many details, when you do a retreat, when you do the practice, you have the basis of visualization. So being in such a place, in front you need to have an image of Aryatara, a tanka or a statue, and then in front of that you place all the different offerings. Based on your own material possibilities, you make the offerings. When you make the offerings, you start it from the anti-clockwise direction. The place where you sit, you have the back sit, like when you make your own cushion, the bed behind is a little bit high. This is better, it means that has the correct conditions. Generally speaking, we have the back a little bit higher. And the place where we sit, under we write the swastika, white color, and together we put kusha grass and turva grass. Based on this, then we should practice. This is especially when you do retreat. Generally, in the daily practice, you don't need to do all of this. Main of all, if you can have an image of Tara and where you can put the offerings, it's very good. But when you do an actual retreat, then you need to fulfill all these conditions, as it's explained in the retreat manual explanations. And also that the image of Tara, that is like looking towards us. Like if you are looking to the west, the image should be looking towards east, so it should be in the direct opposite direction to you. And then you make all the torma offering with the 3 sweet and the 3 whites and all the different content, and together with the nectar pill and so on, with all this you make the torma offerings. Then you make also the different offerings of the self-generation and frontal generation. All of this, in general, if you recite the sadhana, based on the sadhana, that's why you need to do that. If you're not going to recite the actual sadhana, then there is not the need of all these offerings and so on. Because all of this has been translated into English, then the long sadhana and so on is good if you can read and you can gradually understand and learn about it. Then, if you truly wish to practice Tara Chittamani, if you really have such intention, you need to do it through the actual long sadhana of Tara Chittamani, but it's not something that you can do right away. You need to do slowly. You need to learn, read it, but don't give it up. You need to keep your intention, oh, I really want to do it. Then gradually you're able to do it. Because if suddenly, like having a strong fever, oh, I want to do right now, and then you give it up, then it's not happening. It's something gradual. It's not something that you need to do on a moment. It's something that gradually you need to practice. It's in this way. So Tara Chittamani from Father and Mother Tantra is part of the Mother Tantra. Generally speaking, there are 2 tantras. It's not divided by if the deity is male or female manifestation. What makes the definitive distinction between male and female, if the emphasis is given to clear light or to illusory body. This is what making the difference between Father and Mother Tantra. So what is explained here is basically normally the Great Tantras is merely giving the explanations between the part of the illusory body and clear light. Here is explaining basically the difference between appearance and emptiness, but there is no doubt that Tara Tantra is part of the Mother Tantra. So in front of you you place the dorje, the bell, the inner offering, the damaro, And then you follow the sadhana and do the sessions. That's the way how we should go. So for the moment, we stop here. Not so much. So we will stop here for the moment, and then we stop for lunch and come back after. We do dedications now. Gunla kambe dan kebra jetsun losan drapa tembe nimbo rindo sa je shu. Chushi meto chan rirablin shini de gemba di sange shinto mikte uwaraki. Drogu namda shingla che pare shu yede dam. Guru Ratna Mandrala Kamni Ryatayami Mi me tserwe ter chen chen resi Dri me kempe Wampo Champeliang Duopong Malu Jom Tse Sangwedang Kanchen Kepe Tsoge Tsongkapa Lo San Trakpe Shabla Asolwade. So we continue at 3 o'clock. Riprendiamo alle 3.